All right, so now we are in the video 3 out of 4 of this quantifying energy. So this is the graph. I want to make a quick disclaimer here, and I put in fake data here in my data table. So the relationship that I'm going to show may or may not be accurate to what you guys will find. And by may or may not, I mean is not accurate. So now you're ready to graph your data. You're going to go ahead and, as we've done in the past, you're going to be trying to find which of these mathematical expressions or what mathematical models best represents our data points. So these green dots are the data points that you recorded in your data table on slide 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be moving this along. And as you can see, this manipulates all of these lines because it's adding this K constant value to all of these. Okay, so I'll be able to move this along and go, okay, so the two that I see that really make sense here are this blue one and maybe this red one. All right, but definitely not the black, definitely not the green. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that black, get rid of that green one. And let's see which of these makes the most sense for me. Oh, yeah, that blue one looks pretty good for the data that I have here. Yeah, that looks like a better fit than the red line. So I'm going to go ahead and yeah, I've got some that are above the line, some that are below. So this seems like a pretty good spot for it. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that red line on mine. Now I count 1, 2, 3, 4 data points. I know that I had 5 data points on there. Well, that must be because it's off the screen. So let's go ahead and zoom out. Oh, look, there it is. So you can zoom in and out to make sure that you can find your 5 data points. You can also click and drag on the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit more of a clean graph there. Now I notice that I have my dependent variable as potential energy on the y-axis, and my independent variable is blank. So I need to not only figure out that line of best fit, I also need to finish making my graph. Okay, so I'm going to go to this little toolbar here. I got to move my picture out of the way. I'll put myself right over here. So I want to go ahead and put in my independent variable into this one. And in this case, I'm pretending that these are the results for gravity. So I'd say, okay, this is gravity. And my units, which I did see on the screen right over here. So those units are in meters per second squared. All right, your mass is in kilograms, and your height is in meters. So gravity, meters per second squared. And if you don't know how to put that caret in or anything, you can just put in the 2 there. Either of those is just fine. Okay, I could change if I want to. I could change this x-axis and kind of cut it off around here at 40 or 30. I am fine with this, so don't worry too much about that. As long as you can see all of your data points in there, then I will be happy with that. And as long as I also see that you've identified your independent variable. Okay, so now I need to identify my mathematical model. All right, this is probably, I think conceptually, maybe some of the more difficult stuff for folks who have less experience with writing these equations, but you've got it right here, y equals kx squared. So this is really a matter of, and this is, by the way, this is for my data, not necessarily for yours. Please don't get distracted with thinking you need to be getting the same data as me. I used fake data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in for y what my dependent variable was. All right, so that's my y-axis. For k, I'm going to put in that value I see on the slider. And for x, I'm going to be putting in my independent variable. So in this mathematical expression that I have for this fake data, I would be writing, so y, potential energy equals, so I just replaced that y with what I have here, potential energy, I'll go ahead and capitalize that, equals k. Okay, k is 30, so that's a constant. 30 times, I'm going to go ahead and use that x for that, times x. Okay, and then gravity is my independent variable. Gravity And in this case, it is squared. So I'm going to go ahead and, this is, by the way, Shift 6, gives me that little caret. And so now I have my fake equation for my fake data. Potential energy is equal to 30 times gravity squared. Fake equation goes with my fake data. This is how you will be setting up your graph. So here's your little checklist, all right? You're gonna have, you wanna make sure you see 5 data points. You're gonna use these to zoom in and out to make sure you can see your 5 data points. 5 data points. Independent variable, you're gonna label your x-axis. So step 2 is label your x-axis. Step 3 is find the line of best fit using this toggle switch. Step 4 is to delete the other lines. Step 4, delete the other colors that don't match. And then step 5 is write your mathematical expression, or write your mathematical model. Congratulations, you've just graphed your data. For the next video, I will be going through the last slides to talk about what I'm looking for on each of these from slide 14 through 23.